Hey guys, ThatRezzieGuyde here for my first episode, coming to you from San Juan River in northern New Mexico. Here on a 2-day fishing trip with my buddy Josh Padas of Padas Creations. That's him on the left and I'm on the right. We are fly fishing the San Juan River the next couple of days. This is my first year getting into fly fishing and my first time here along the river. As you can see, it was quite cold with the light snow on the ground and cloud cover above blocking out the sun, making the water very cold, and unfortunately making the fishing very slow. Here I was using random flies trying to find what they were biting on. Unfortunately, none of the flies I had were getting bites, but I was still keeping hopes high as a couple fishermen we passed showed us the fish they caught, which were nice 15-inch browns. We were fishing here for a while as I was getting some basic pointers and tips, but we didn't get any bites, so we moved on up the river to another spot. Here is a quick view of the river, which was too great not to share, which has some nice deep holes. As you can see, Josh is already in the river as I set up the camera and walk out into it myself as I cast my line out. Being my first time fly fishing in the river, I take my time walking out into the middle of it as I do not want to slip and fall into the freezing water. As you can see, I slowly walk into the strong and fast current which begins to push my legs around and nearly takes me out. Now that I'm back in slow waters and have my balance back, I began fishing again for another 30 minutes before going to a couple more spots. But each spot we went to produced no bites, and at this point we decided to head back to the car as the sun was setting and the water was getting colder by the minute. As I was making my way out of the river, I slipped and automatically put my left hand down to brace my fall, instantly regretting it, making my 5-minute hike to the car seem much longer. Finally back at the car, I began to take my wet clothes off. Here you can see me struggling. Oh my god. Okay, almost on my shoes. Oh, whew, whew. Finally out of my waders and wet clothes, we decided to go get a room so I can efficiently warm up. After getting dinner and a good night's sleep, we decided to head back to the river for another morning of fishing. First, we stopped at Floatin' Fish for a quick fishing report and to buy the flies that were producing bites, according to the guy at the shop. After rigging up my line with the new flies I bought, I get back into the water and began fishing. The new flies I was using at this time were getting no bites, or I was just missing them as this was my first time fly fishing in the river. But I was really hoping they would eventually bite and I would hook a fish. But all I was catching were the weeds in front of the camera. Cut the cameraman again. After snagging the weeds a few more times, I finally decided to switch up my flies and put on a green leech, which Josh has been using and caught his limit since we started fishing. Here he is catching his fourth and final fish for the day, reaching his daily limit on the San Juan. Hope you enjoyed the video of him catching the fish and the ASMR of my fly line wisping in the air near the camera. As you can see, as soon as Josh stands up from putting his fish in the cage, I hook my second fish of the day. Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy. Bacon bait. So this fish tangled me up and got off my hook, but I was still able to catch my limit after that. Here I'm back home and laid them out on a cutting board with a tape measure underneath, showing my catch of 3 12-inchers and an 11.5-inch trout. Thank you for joining me on my first fishing expedition on the San Juan River in northern New Mexico. I really hope you enjoyed this video and will join me on my future fishing trips. I hope I got you hooked and reel in your subscribe.